Okay, so today's read aloud is called The Little Red Hen, and this book doesn't have an author on the cover. That's kind of weird because the book has writing in it. This book only has an illustrator, Lucinda McQueen. That's because The Little Red Hen is a fable or a folk tale that's been passed down for years and years, right? It has a lesson in it. And because it's been passed down from generation to generation, years and years, no one's really sure who wrote it or who came up with it. That's why there's only an illustrator on the cover. So let's get reading. And as we're reading, we're going to think, what could the lesson be in this book? The Little Red Hen. Once upon a time, there was a little red hen who shared her tiny cottage with a goose, a cat, and a dog. The goose was a gossip. She chatted with the neighbors all day long. The cat was very vain. She brushed her fur, straightened her whiskers, and polished her claws all day long. I'm thinking that vain must be somebody who really only cares about how they look, right? Because she's spending all day trying to make sure she looks nice. The dog was always sleepy. He napped on the front porch swing all day long. So it seems like a lot of the other characters in the story are lazy. The little red hen ended up doing all of the work around the house. She cooked. She cleaned. Some pages are falling out there. She washed the clothes and took out the trash. She mowed the lawn and raked the leaves. She even did all of the shopping. One morning, on her way to the market, the little red hen found a few grains of wheat. She put them in the pocket of her apron. Grains help grow bread, right? Bread comes from wheat, and grains help us. They're like the wheat seeds. All right, so these pages fell out. When she got home, she asked her friends, "Who will plant these grains of wheat?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I will plant them myself," said the little red hen. And she did. When the grains of wheat began to sprout, the little red hen cried, "Look at the wheat I planted, it's coming up. Who will help me take care of it this summer?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. So I'm thinking that this is going to be one of those stories where one character does all of the work and the other characters are kind of lazy. I'm wondering if one of the lessons is about doing hard work. "Then I will take care of it myself," said the little red hen. And she did. All summer long, she cared for the growing wheat. She made sure that it got enough water. She made sure that she hoed the weeds out carefully between each row. By the end of summer, the wheat had grown tall. And when it turned from green to gold, she asked her friends, "Who will help me cut and thrash this wheat?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I will cut it and thrash it myself," said the little red hen. And so she did. When all of the wheat had been cut and thrashed, the little red hen scooped up the wheat into a wheelbarrow and said, "This wheat must be ground into flour. Who will help me take it to the mill?" "Not I," said the dog. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the goose. What do you think the hen is going to do? Yep. The miller ground the wheat into flour and put it into a bag for the little red hen. Then, all by herself, she pushed the bag home in the wheelbarrow. I wonder what the little red hen is going to do. now that she has the wheat into flour. One cool fall morning, not many days later, the little red hen got up early and said, "Today would be a perfect day to bake some bread. Who will help me bake a loaf of bread with the flour I brought home from the mill?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I will bake the bread myself," said the little red hen. And she did. She mixed the flour with milk and eggs and butter and salt. She kneaded the dough and shaped it into a nice plump loaf. Then she put the loaf in the oven and watched it as it baked. The smell of baking bread soon filled the air. It smelled so delicious that the goose stopped chatting, the cat stopped brushing, and the dog stopped napping. One by one, they came into the kitchen. When the little red hen took out the freshly baked loaf of bread out of the oven, she said, "Who will help me eat this bread?" "Oh, I will," said the goose, "and I will," said the cat, "and I will," said the dog. So now, all of the characters want to help. All of the animals want to help the goose eat the bread because that's the fun part. What do you think the goose is going to do? Is she going to share the bread, even though nobody helped her along the way? Or is she going to keep it for herself? What would you do if you were the goose? Let's see. "You will," said the little red hen. "Who planted the wheat and took care of it? I did. Who cut the wheat? Who threshed it and took it to the mill? Who brought the flour home and baked this loaf of bread? I did. I did it all by myself. Now I am going to eat it all by myself." And that is exactly what she did. So, what could we learn from this book? What lesson? We don't really go around planting wheat and baking bread in New York City. So the lesson's not about baking bread. It's a bigger lesson that we can use in our own lives. I think this book teaches us that if you want the reward, like if you want the fun part at the end of eating the yummy bread, you need to work hard along the way. So if you want the reward or get to the fun part, you need to work hard to get there, right? And I think the book also teaches us, don't be lazy. You need to help out sometimes. All right? See you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.